on their attack, and also being able to adapt to almost any situation is what set them apart. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Let's kick off the Crossfire Stars 2019 Grand Finals. Black Dragons versus VINCIT Gaming, the Battle of Brazil. One team will come out $500,000 richer by the end of today.
And Black Dragons, and what a fantastic map it is going to be as well. I have to agree with what you said earlier on, Ian. I am really looking forward to this map. I think it's the best possible one we could have got to start things off in this grand final.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see, unlike when they're versing the Chinese and you say, oh, there's no love lost here between these two teams, it's going to be interesting to see. These two teams obviously are friends. They're not enemies. So it'll be interesting to see how they fire each other up when the round wins start coming through. For me, this is already a victory for Brazil, and I think the players would be echoing that as well.
You have to wonder what this is going to mean for Brazil next year as well when you see two teams in the grand final. First blood has been drawn. That's by Black Dragons. Notson gets it. A quick trade, though, coming straight back from VINCIT. So we're going tit for tat, toe for toe for the moment, and neither team getting a huge advantage. But good control into mid here early on in the piece from VINCIT, and that's going to give room for Douglas to work.
And the rotate actually coming out already from Black Dragons, as they will stack the A site, and I think VINCIT Gaming are going to attempt to come up through middle towards B. And that will be all she wrote for Black Dragons. If that happens, a lot of pressure on ADRF in that case.
Yeah, certainly. He's going to dig up and dive. Duck. Oh, whatever. Don't worry about it. He's going to dive all around the place and try and survive, but he's not going to be able to do too much there. In the end, he actually does survive, does take down one of the Black Dragons players, and that's not a bad start here for them. Douglas, however, trades things back, and that is impressive. A quick scope on a Notson, cannot get the triple. Viana to shut him down. And Viana, again, is such an impactful player for Black Dragons, as you are going to see right away. Rio Zhao goes down as well, and it's all on to Mason. You've coined him the clutch master, Ian.
Yep.
Can he do it again for VINCIT? 24 seconds to survive. Spots out Viana, but won't land the shot as the flashbang does go down to try and provide some space, buy some time. Mason will take the peak, but Viana gets all three of them. And that is a big start for Black Dragons and a big start for Viana.
One thing that we didn't really talk about at the start of this game, Jordan, was that this is almost an El Clasico now. Like, this is number one, number two, of the same region coming up against each other. And you couldn't ask for a better 2-on-2 situation than to have Mazin up against Viana. The two clutch kings for Brazil coming head-to-head in the first round, despite everything that happened leading up to that. And interestingly, as I say that, a fast mid-take again from VINCIT Gaming, straight into the B site. Goken having a tough one already.
Mendes showing a lot of confidence running straight in there with the bomb when there was still a couple of defenders available. Actually, the plan doesn't end up going down. VINCIT feel they need to clear the site, and they absolutely do, because ADRF and Notson are doing damage. Viana, out in the middle of nowhere, no man's land, does get shut down by DGZ. And we're straight back into a 2 versus 2. Again, a very similar situation to what we saw here on the B bomb site in round 1. But the bomb plan's still not down.
Both of these teams are very split up at the moment. They're not working together. There's no cohesions. DGZ is just a man cut loose on the B site. Oh, the one tap the crowd like that as he takes down Notson, and Mazin finally coming in on the flank. And they're going to answer one back straight away. And, well, this is looking like it's going to be a great game.
That's what we want to see, isn't it? A really backwards and forwards one where both teams are fighting hard for the victory. And when you think about it, the context of Ankara, it could be a hugely important map here if you get off to that good start.
Not just that, Jordan, but for the spectators. I mean, we've got a full crowd here almost. There's not a single Chinese team, but they've come out in numbers anyway just to support Crossfire, and that's a great thing.
Super impressive indeed. Always great to see the growth of the game in this region. VINCIT this time, though, changing things up with a bit more of a presence toward the A bomb site. Black Dragons have 3 players on the B side of the map.
Well, this is what we're used to seeing from Black Dragons as well. Despite how effective they are at the B retake, they do like to stack it up and have Vienna or just someone maybe pushing up forward on that B site for map control. We also are very familiar with seeing teams fake the A site, clear out that side hall, and then fall back through middle. DGZ now going to put some salt to his name, going as the aggressive sniper, and I think Black Dragons are well aware now that it is a mid to B call.
Well, Vincit really do like this B side, and you can tell why. Great entry from Lucum. He looks for a second and will get it as well as ADRF does fall. Douglas watching for the rotates from tower. But in the meanwhile, Black Dragons, they're just losing players all over the place, dropping like flies. Pancada and Knotson now in a 2 versus 4. And it's going to be tough for them as Douglas drops down. Mendes as well, catching him. And 2 headshots. Put those guys to bed. It's Black Dragons that will drop another round, and VINCIT go 2-1 up.
Yeah, this is great for the confidence for VINCIT Gaming as well. Every single one of the players is stepping up already, whereas Black Dragons, a couple of them have missed some crucial shots and could just affect their mentality going into the rest of this series. As you can see, Pancada, Gokun, the 2 new guys to the world stage, already still on a donut after 3 rounds. That's going to need to change very fast. Vienna's going to need to do something to activate those guys. Otherwise, they'll continue to struggle. Now, the A execute coming out from VINCIT Gaming. This could be just setting it up, could be just a fake, but the C4 is right there in arms. And here it is, straight onto the A site.
The flashbangs do go through for VG, but doesn't seem to cause too many problems for Black Dragons. ADRF will get 2, but that is not enough. VINCIT still have control of the bomb site, and they get the bomb down very quickly. Black Dragons are still on the rotate.
Well, that's the thing. Black Dragons, they're notorious for being slow to rotate, but that's because they clear out everything meticulously.
Gokun does get Mendes, but traded straight away by Lucum, and that's another one. 3 in a row now for VINCIT.
Well, you need to remember this is an attacking bias map, but only ever so slightly. You're looking at maybe a 5-4 or something like that to that effect for the attacking side. So VINCIT Gaming so far just on par. Black Dragons, though, they're starting to fall behind a little bit. You might see a desperate move from them very soon. Something like an A push or maybe a B push, get a frag, maybe fall back after that.
I think a B push would be a little bit more of a desperate kind of a Hail Mary for Black Dragons than an A push would be. The A push is quite standard, at least from what we've seen of the Brazilian teams.
It's just a standard strategy amongst all the teams. You know, we've seen all gamers try it. It wasn't very effective. The Brazilian are they're probably the best at dealing with it.
Yep.
Another A execute will come out very fast from VINCIT Gaming. No fake here. Only 2 on the A site to defend.
Yeah, they certainly have caught the weakness on this side of the map, but not this time, Knotson! He gets 2. And again, very quick trades from VINCIT, but at least this time it's a favorable 3 for 2. And VINCIT have the numbers advantage. Vienna catches DGZ, trying to get a little bit tricky, knows they have the numbers disadvantage and is able to at least get some presence, but it's not really going to work out too nicely. That's better from Black Dragons, finally being able to hold them off from getting the bomb plant down.
Vienna, again, just stepping up into Gokun's role because he's had a slow start, and the double sniper working out perfectly for Black Dragons. Vienna having a great impact on that round, but again, you've got to put it down to a solid defense from Pancada. He's been playing lights out so far. Back to what worked, and VINCIT Gaming will quickly come up through middle, and this is where Gokun really needs to step up. He's let them through too many times, and this is not going to be a time where he's going to stop them.
Vienna rotating across as well, has seen Knotson fall. He's the last man standing on the bomb site, but the plan has gone down regardless, and Black Dragons forced into a retake way earlier than they would have liked. Mason still watching mid. That's the end of Pancada, and Vienna also falls to Mendes on the site. That was just a complete clean wipe from VG, and they answer back very nicely to what Black Dragons presented in the previous round. 4-2 now.
Jordan, the pace of this game so far is unreal. VINCIT Gaming are not giving Black Dragons a chance. They're not giving Vienna a chance to give his team a pep talk or try and figure out what's going on. That B execute time and time again has worked out. This is what happens when you have these sorts of El Clasicos. They know exactly the flaw, the weakness in the Black Dragons game plan more than anyone else, and they're able to exploit that.
Yeah, and you look at this VG roster and you see who is doing the damage. DGZ, 10-3, the sniper for the roster. Such a powerful player for VG. And the fact that you consider you still have Mason yet to really step up. Mendes is putting in good work. There is a lot of firepower left in the tank for this VG roster.
Well, the Black Dragons roster, however, has been a little bit quiet. As I say that, ADRF will try and even up the score just a little bit. Goken's still losing a lot of HP.
I mean, the issue is VG's still already on the bomb site, and Black Dragons have essentially given them B, now forced into the 4v4 retake.
This is what Black Dragons do. They're the masters of the B retake.
Well, let's see if they're going to be able to pull it off once again. ADRF starts well, catches Mendez, needs more though, but it's Pancata this time that will chime in. 2 remain for VINCIT, but Mason, such a dangerous player, may well be able to pull this off with the help of Lukum. And Knotson, wide swings, but can't get the job done. Another one for VINCIT. They've hit the pass score of 5.
This is a really worrying sign for Black Dragons. That big retake is definitely in their wheelhouse, and it was very sloppy towards the end. Things were looking so good, they may have got a little overconfident, and that's where VINCIT Gaming were able to put the nail in the coffin on that last round. Interestingly, Jordan Ryu still on 0. Hasn't been an issue for VINCIT Gaming.
Certainly not. Again, showing the tendency toward the A side of the map early on the piece, but this doesn't necessarily mean that VINCIT will confirm an attack on A.
This is the only the first map in potentially a 5-map series, so Black Dragons, they may get a little leeway here just to warm up. Being on the defensive side is always going to be difficult for the first half of the day.
Lukum wins the aim duel against Knotson, and that really opens up the site. There's only 1 remaining here for Black Dragons. He's already started to back away. It's Pancata, needs to step up huge here, but just decides better of it. And that might well be the smart play, but in a 4v5, can you really back Black Dragons on this retake?
Oh, absolutely. Usually you can, Jordan. Anytime up until this day, you have been able to rely on that. This is something the Chinese need to adopt and perfect and master, but they haven't been able to.
Oh, this could be the issue still for Black Dragons, as their retakes haven't been so good just yet today.
Wow!
Mendez doubles down, that's 3! And you can hear the roar from the crowd, they appreciate it.
They know good crossfire when they see it, Jordan.
Yep, 6 now for VG, and this really does seem like it could be over much quicker than we expected on map 1.
No, I wouldn't get too excited yet.
I'm getting excited.
VINCIT Gaming are just doing everything right, considering the advantage they have starting on the attacking side. They can set the momentum, they can set the pace. It's very difficult to start a game like this, even if you're a world champion like Black Dragons, when they're just running at you, not giving you a chance to establish yourself. It's only a matter of time before Black Dragons get into this match. Is it going to be in this half? Well, it's not too late.
No. Make it 6-3. At least that's something to play with in the next.
Some momentum, yeah.
But hard yard's going to have to be put in here by Black Dragons.
No aggression.
Early control of mid. VINCIT.
They're very spread out, VINCIT. This is unusual for them.
Indeed.
They do have Mendez far right on the right flank, waiting for any sort of push from Vienna. Some desperation from Black Dragons, but instead they're opting to keep to what they know.
Goken starts off well, ADRF as well to back him up. That's excellent from the 2 players on the B defense. VINCIT just get absolutely crushed. And Mendez, while he's been good so far on this map, 10-5, I don't think that there's going to be a Cinderella story for him at the end of this round. A 1v5, sure he's got time. Doesn't have control of the C4. And isn't really being given any openings here by Black Dragons, who are playing this one quite nicely.
Yeah, uncharacteristically for the Brazilians. But today is where everything matters.
Indeed, and no mistakes being made by Black Dragons at the half. 6-3, VINCIT performing quite admirably, but still, 1 more half to play. Anything can happen. VINCIT have gotten off to a really solid start here, but Black Dragons, as you've been continually reminding me, Ian, are a team that you can't count out of any match like this. And 6-3, it's not the biggest of deficits.
No, well, this first round I think is actually going to make a huge difference to the game. You can see Vincit Gaming on the front foot already, and Mendez just starting this first round off the same way they finished the last half, or rather started the first half. Just getting that shot. Actually, Mendez was the first person to die of this game, and now he's coming back with a vengeance on the attack, on the defensive side, but making an aggressive move there to catch Black Dragons off guard.
Well, they just want to keep reminding Black Dragons of that intimidating presence that VINCIT can bring on these games.
Yeah, it was a perfect play. To be honest, Black Dragons should have been ready for that. And you'd be crazy to think that they've stuck around. They've got the player advantage.
Black Dragons going to have to find a way to make this work with the 4 players they have remaining. Gokun and Viana both taking the Orm in this round. So they'll be looking for picks before they enter the bomb sites. I'm not sure that'll be so easy. VINCIT playing quite reserved, not giving him those opportunities. Black Dragons are doing a good job of starting to move their way around the map as a unit and taking some control.
Well, the 3-man stack on the EA site won't really make a difference today, I don't think, for Vincit Gaming. And an excellent entry for Notson.
Oh, DGZ, though, does catch Notson as he tries to hide around the corner. While that's a 1-for-1, it's actually going to allow Black Dragons to get some presence on the site. Smokes are going down. Grenades are flying in the direction of DGZ. And the C4 is now going to be planted by Gokun. So that'll put the onus back here onto VINCIT. Douglas, though, very close through the smoke. Catches Gokun. ADRF gets away with 2, but it's all onto Viana now, a 1v1. And the big player for the roster has to step up here for Black Dragons. Can he do it? Ryu Zhao will shut him down, and that is just another one for VINCIT. The important first round of the half that you spoke about, Ian, is going to, again, go the way of VINCIT.
Yeah, and look, that's a real big shame for Viana as well. He sort of choked out in that last round, and that's uncharacteristic for him. He used all of his pistol ammo, taking down the second last player. So when it did come to Rauzo, then he had no option but to try and turtle with that AWP. And it just wasn't going to work out. And that, again, the sniping from VINCIT Gaming has just been on point.
There's something a little special maybe from VINCIT again as they start to creep their way forward in mid. Mason gets caught in the side. ADRF and Viana perfectly poised, waiting for the push from VINCIT. Maybe we're starting to see Black Dragons adapt to the playstyle that VINCIT is bringing in this grand final.
They do have to adapt instantly as well, Jordan, because VINCIT Gaming, they only need a couple more rounds to win this game. And Black Dragons, well, I think VINCIT Gaming are almost throwing it a little bit here. This round, it's not too much of a big deal now. VINCIT Gaming are just going to go for broke. They know the A site's open. Black Dragons will find their way in. And it's just going to be a matter of whether or not VINCIT Gaming can make this difficult for them.
DGZ might be able to get behind Gokun here if he gets caught napping, and that was mighty close. Gokun, however, will finish him off and haul on to Ryu Zhao, who won't be able to do a whole lot. That's a nice confidence builder, I suppose, for Black Dragons.
Absolutely.
Maybe more of a stress reliever than anything else.
It's just a peek back into this game because VINCIT Gaming looked dominant until then. VINCIT Gaming obviously trying a little too hard to wrap things up, and this could be their undoing. You see Douglas as well going on the aggression through middle with that sniper. It's going to be very important that he at least get one before going down. Ideally, he wants to get one and get out of there, but you never know. Black Dragons just trying very hard now because they're so far down the deficit. There's no pressure on VINCIT Gaming. They can afford to take risks and, you know, push up around the map. So this is something Black Dragons have to clear out every single round now. Because eventually, if VINCIT Gaming were to continue just pushing around, getting control, it's only a matter of time before they won a round against Black Dragons. And if there were a battle of attrition to go one-on-one, well, we know how that'll end up.
Big stack toward A from
Interestingly, though, VINCIT Gaming are moving around quite a lot. Usually they're very happy to stay in their systems.
Well, maybe they're just being thrown off a little bit by Black Dragons. Again, put a lot of a premium on Viana and the ability that he brings in the strategic side of things for Black Dragons, but he's caught on
they're
the creep
walking
up
in.
the stairs. Yeah, it was a contact play from Black Dragons that, in the end, a 1-for-1. I mean, you can't be too disappointed there. Lukum from behind the boxes charges down the stairs, but he's immediately executed by Goken, who will also do the same to Mason. And a 2v1, that works very well for Black Dragons. They've caught VINCIT off again, and you're starting to feel like something's happening here for Black Dragons. That wind in their sails might well be becoming a little bit more than just a puff, turning into a gust.
That's so interesting for me to see that contact play actually working out for Black Dragons, despite Vienna going in so much earlier than the rest of his team.
Haven't planted the C4 just yet, so DG's he's actually kind of...
He might be able to find a one-on-one here, but...
Yeah, mind-gamed them a bit. He'll creep his way forward. All it's going to take here is one good shot from that Orm, but it's a game of timing right now. Goken is under the stairs. DGZ waiting. The peak will come, but he misses the shot. And that's going to make life easy for Goken.
Yeah. Everyone knew as soon as he missed that shot that it was almost over there. And promising signs here for Black Dragons on the attack, but I've got to say VINCIT Gaming are just giving it to them on a silver platter at the moment. And if they just continue these aggressive plays...
Uh-oh, this could be a dangerous engagement for both sides. Mendez is going to get two, and Mason will finish things off. Black Dragons not quite expecting the stack of VINCIT.
No.
He had players playing anti-flash there for VINCIT. I thought it was going to be a problem because it was really a contact play from BD, but either way, the aim duels do go the way of VINCIT.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about, Jordan. Because they have that lead, they can afford to make those risks. And one has already paid off already. And honestly, they've been aggressive every single round. I'm a bit disappointed that Black Dragons weren't ready to deal with that as a full team.
Oh, great shot from DGZ. He's also spotted Goken there, so can just look to pad the stats a little bit here, but doesn't want to give Goken a sneak into this round. It is a 1v1 after all. And sure, 3v1, probably not winnable there, but these are the little things that can turn into the big things.
That's right. Mendez just finishing things off, and whenever it is Goken versus Douglas, you don't want to see that fight going towards Goken, because once he gets his tail up, once he gets a little bit of confidence, he can cause a lot of problems for VINCIT Gaming. It's all about those little mind games. Now, Black Dragons are going to play more people towards B early on. Getting that shot through the door is going to hurt out Pancata.
It's the same setup for VINCIT, and it could be the same result as well for Black Dragons. They go charging through the smoke, but Knotson, he snuck past Lukum, and that could really be a problem. However, Mason will eventually finish him off. So that could have been a lot more dangerous, for both sides than it really ended up being.
Yeah.
2 for 2, neither team's too disappointed, but look at this from Black Dragons. They're immediately over to the A side. Very quick mid-round call.
And so they should be as well. It's going to be up to Ryu here to cut them off. Oh, dear. That's a great shot on the Pancata.
That's the C4 as well. Big spanner in the works for Black Dragons.
Well, Vienna has opted to stay back on the lurk. Let's see if he can do some damage. And it's not going to be enough. Well, this is looking very convincing for VINCIT Gaming. 2 rounds in a row where they've seemingly throw strategy out the window, but gone on the attack. Instead of holding a bomb site in particular, and they've caught Black Dragons napping twice in a row with the exact same strategy. So that's why I am so concerned for them.
This is what's going to put VINCIT on map point as well. So Goken, quite a bit of weight resting on his shoulders here. Now VINCIT aren't really holding the C4. If he could have gotten across, or if he could have hit that shot, you might start to think that's doable for him.
Yeah.
In the end though, map point now.
There's some worrying signs here just on the faces of the Black Dragons players. They don't look like they're in this tournament yet. It is all VINCIT Gaming. Oh no, they're going to push it through to the end as well.
Yeah, that's not the start you want to be seeing for Black Dragons. They are crumbling under the pressure here, and VINCIT is only looking stronger. Lukum from mid does spot a few, and DGZ, it's an excellent shot. Straight into the B bomb site, though, goes Black Dragons, and that might be a sliver of hope. If they can get the plan down, play a 3v5 retake well, get some good post plants, maybe it's possible to stay alive for Black Dragons, but that is another nail in the coffin with Knotson falling. ADRF and Pancata now must step up, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. ADRF, however, does catch 2. Mendez is there, and that'll be the map. VINCIT Gaming go 1-0 up. And on Ankara.
Just like that, Vincit Gaming go 1-0 up in our best-of-5 grand final here at CFS 2019. And gentlemen, they did so in style. A 10-5, pretty commanding first game.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, there was a couple of moments there for Black Dragon where you felt like they were going to come back into it.
Yeah.
But by and large, I'd have to say, I think Vincit was far and away the better team, and that doesn't necessarily bode too well for Black Dragons looking into the next couple of maps.
Ian, obviously it's attacking favoured map, and Black Dragon starting off in defence. Really, they came out quite slow out of the gates. They were missing counter flashes.
Yep.
They essentially gifted a few rounds over to Vincit in the first 5 or so, and from there it was all downhill.
I've got to be honest, they gifted a lot more than 5 rounds. Black Dragons didn't look like their normal selves.
Yeah.
VINCIT Gaming really had the run of the muck here. They could do anything, and Black Dragons didn't have any answers for it. We saw the aggressive A play towards the end there to be the nail in the coffin. That's stuff that normally these Brazilian teams will counter and adapt to instantly time and time again. Their B defense was very weak, mid defense not even present, no aggression coming out from Black Dragons on the defense. Like I said, that's the problem with starting on the defense. The first map of a huge series like this is VINCIT Gaming get to dictate the pace, and they did. They were really like a bull out of a gate.
It really felt like perhaps these weren't the maps that favoured Vincit when you saw the order they come out in. Subbase coming up next, then Compound. They were like, probably would have preferred those at the end. Kyle very much thought so. That was his inclination, that this map pool was not something that Vincit wanted to see. But right now, they've come out all guns blazing, Jordan. At 10-5, this is not the game that I expected.
I mean, you look at Ankara, and I know it's going to be easy to say in hindsight, but I would have said I think Vincit wouldn't have been too disappointed to see that as the first map in the pool. They got a 10-5 against Super Valiant on the map. They also got a 10-4 against Baisha, so there's some good rosters in there that they've been able to beat. Not only that, I think they also played it against All Gamers yesterday, so they've kind of done the runner on
They
on
played
Ankara.
a few, yeah.
Yeah, so they know what they're doing on that map. The questions, of course, for me are around Subbase and Compound more so, but realistically speaking, starting off on Ankara, not a bad shout for Vincit.
No, they certainly would have been happy at least of starting on the attacking side. You saw Gokun really struggled on defense. He was not finding any shots at all, and
He's a huge momentum player for me. He's I can see a lot of parallels to other esports players where they can just be, and it's always snipers as well. They either start off really well and get that confidence, or they have a very poor start and it sort of carries on for quite a while until you give them that opportunity at a clutch play. That's what we're going to need to see from Gokun before he can really step up and deliver in this series.
He was certainly a little bit better when he went to the attack, but obviously not enough to get the team across the line. Again, at 10-5, I thought this map would probably be a little bit closer. But yeah, momentum very much in Vincit's favour right now.
Yeah, definitely thought it was going to be a bit closer, especially heading into that second half when Black Dragons put a couple of rounds together. Kind of looked like they were adapting to what Vincit was throwing at them. But then Vincit just changed up. They go aggressive. They really catch Black Dragons off guard. So there's a lot to say there, I think, for Vincit going into Subbase.
Take a look at our key player of the match, DGZ. Can't disagree with that one, to be perfectly honest.
No, his playstyle actually completely matched the playstyle of the rest of the team for VINCIT Gaming.
Yeah.
He says he's an aggressive sniper, while VINCIT Gaming kept playing aggressive. Even when they were on the defensive side, they were taking those aggressive moves, where basically he gets that opportunity to play to his strengths. Whereas Gokun, he's very passive, he's sitting back, and even on the attacking side, they weren't able to activate him because VINCIT Gaming kept doing these 3-man pushes towards B, and instead of Black Dragons identifying that early and backing off and getting out of dodge, they went head-to-head, and VINCIT Gaming, they're more warmed up. They've had that attacking side. They're ready to go, and they came out on top every single time.
We talked about how important momentum would be here. We talked about how perhaps if VINCIT Gaming started off without any momentum, how they might struggle, because of course Black Dragons had the experience, they had Vienna as their IGL, and that should get them across the line. But now that's sort of out of it for now. VINCIT very strongly has the momentum heading into the next round.
And I'd say you have to ask the same question now for Black Dragons. Remember, when they won last year, it was a 3-0, so they're not used to playing from behind in these grand finals, and we're really going to get to see whether or not they've got the mental fortitude to win a grand final from behind.
Well, it's time to head to a break here at the CFS 2019 Grand Finals. VINCIT Gaming up 1-0. Next, we head to Subbase. We'll see you soon.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
这一个弹道路内斯直接一个双杀，A2这边是直接是排到了。
The whole match went as planned. The adjustment we gonna make is that we try to not overpeak as much as we did this time. It was the first match, so mistakes can happen. But we make sure that this will not happen against BD.
一直在犹豫啊，就是犹豫的途中，绝技是直接突破到一个，又打到一个，
后路又看到一个，这边要不要秒第3个？
直接安放 C4，
非常聪明，直接安放 C4。B 这个不对，但是
哎呦这一
绿
枪，
豆是真的状态好啊，现
这
在。
第2枪甩的。
我们今天队伍发挥的不是太理想吧，因为有的东西自己没有打好。接下来要打804，我们要尽可能调整好我们所有人最好的状态。
直接3杀。
因为我们现在是小组第1出现了嘛，然后小组第2要去看白沙跟埃及的比赛吧。
扳回了1分
，9比6。
9比6。马哲在绕，B连不管，直接抽中路，屁股中路4个背身，雅哲正面刷屏漂亮，一个背身稳住马哲，进了2个，
全是人，
再换手枪，
再拖，
漂亮，
哇，这一波配合真的是非常的精细啊！
4个人过来清，有发现窗口的位置，卢卡马又撤退了，
要抓他，道具已经给上了，卢卡。
Eu me senti que ia ser jogo difícil, mas que eu confio muito no meu time e sabia que se a gente jogasse 100% do que a gente joga, a gente conseguia sair com a vitória. Na minha opinião, é o grupo mais difícil que rolou no CFS. A gente sabia que seriam jogos bem difíceis e eu creio que passa o nosso time e o da Super Valiant, que é a SV que a gente acabou de ganhar.
no！ 来了，这个造型已经摆了很久了，看莱纳这枪直接举掉，漂亮！再闪身 AD， 再换1个2个，哇！这组破射直接3个爆头，先给个道具，拉回来了，被发现了，近点又吃了1枪手枪。
Nós entramos muito perdidos nos jogos, mas conseguimos nos reencontrar no meio da partida. Nós vamos preparar o psicológico, conversar entre a gente para que tudo dê certo.
every team claims that they are the best. However, in the grand finals, there can only be one champion. This is a place with intense rules and fierce competition. There's no sympathy to the losers. Only victory is their goal. CFS 2019 Grand Finals will be held from December 7th to 14th, with 12 teams coming from 6 regions, fighting for a total prize of $820,000. Come and enjoy together this splendid FPS festival. Let us all witness which team will rise as the CFS 2019 Grand Finals champion.
好，怎么称呼你？
我姓陈。
姓陈。那小姐姐你是从哪里过来的？
我从就是上海理工。
从上海理工过来的，是特地来参加我们这个总决赛的吗？自己擅长打什么枪？什么机械？什么枪？
主打 M4。AK GT 也可以打。
那全能型选手是不是？
还好吧。
还好。最喜欢玩的模式是什么？
现在就打打排位。
那对于我们这次总决赛的2支队伍啊，就有没有更看好那支队伍，或者你觉得预测一下今天的冠军会是谁？
我们预测应该是 VG 吧。
这位呢？
那 VG 吧，因为 VG 比较熟悉一点，高中时就听过 VG，那一支我是在 VG。
因为更加的熟悉一点，所以更加看好 VG 是吗？玩 CF 玩多久了
？8年多了吧。
那这位呢？
我快10年了。
快10年了，那都是老玩家了。那有没有什么想要对 CF 有一些预祝的话？
希望对服务器好点，然后越做越好 ，CFHD 也做得更好一点，能让 CF 再火。
对，我也建议 HD 的能让更多的人可以体验一下。
那你玩这款游戏多久了？
有差不多7、8年吧。
有7、8年了。当时是怎么入坑的呢？
当时就是我室友在玩，然后我觉得挺好玩的，就跟他一起玩。
Are you ready?
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 finals. VINCIT Gaming up against Black Dragons. Black Dragons looking to take it back-to-back, make it 2018, 2019. But guys, right now, VINCIT Gaming standing in their way and standing tall and strong.
And I don't think you could have really gotten much more of a difficult opponent for Black Dragons this year, could you? I mean, it did look pretty good for Black Dragons throughout the entire tournament so far. We've been saying, hey, they've looked like a team that could well go back-to-back, but all of a sudden now in the grand final, the 10-5 loss on Ankara, things are looking all over the place for Black Dragons. Vienna is going to have to be that big personality in the team to sort of get their heads back into shape.
We've talked about Vienna time and time and time again, how he's led them to victory, how even as an IGL, he's played well as an individual, which often IGL struggle with, but right now, not where he probably wants to be.
Yeah, look, we're talking about a guy who, coming into this series, was filling in every gap.
Yeah.
If there was anything that the team couldn't do, Vienna was standing up. If ADRF was struggling on the entries, Vienna. If Goken was struggling on the sniper, Vienna. If no one was there alive to clutch, Vienna. Today, no Vienna.
Yeah.
So we're going to need to see that change. Now, a map like Subbase, I think that very heavily favors the play style of VINCIT Gaming. They've got Douglas here, who's going to be on the offensive with the sniper, and it's going to come down to those duels between him and Goken. It's we're going to see the double doors sniping, and then it's going to come down to who can hold that B site the best with that staircase.
Yeah.
So for me, the way that VINCIT Gaming finished that first map was commanding. It sends a big message. Black Dragons are going to have to come out very, very strong here on a map like Subbase.
Look, we talked about how we thought, sure, Ankara, it's attack-sided, so when we flip this over, don't think too much about it because Black Dragons are going to be able to bring it back. They were not able to bring it back, and to be honest, their attacking side was just as bad as the defensive side. So now as we do head to Subbase, Jordan, what are the key things to look out for you?
Well, a better start, I think, for one, for Black Dragons, you need to make sure that you're not letting the occasion get too far ahead of you. Obviously, for them, you're down 1-0 already. You don't want to be down 2 or 3-0 in the second map.
You certainly do not want to be down any further. Black Dragons looking to even up the score against VINCIT Gaming here on Subbase.
Big cheers from VINCIT as we head into the second map, and you really start to see that self-belief coming now for them after picking up that first map. And look at how they've started off map 2. Mason, he's just run straight into 2 of them. Goken and Vienna have been deleted from the map.
This is so scary for me, considering the form that Mazin has been in. And now on the defensive side, to make a maneuver like that this early on in the piece, on a map like Subbase,
VINCIT just doesn't care.
They don't need to do that. They're already on the defense, and they already have the bias of the map.
But that's just bullying Black Dragons. That's really reminding them exactly the situation that they're in now.
I was going to make a point of the fact that there was a 15-minute break, any sort of momentum that VINCIT Gaming had in the end of that last map, you would almost write it off. But knowing full well that they had that momentum, they are able to do it. They are able to beat Black Dragons. That has really put something in the stride of VINCIT Gaming.
Great flash onto ADRF. Will enable the peak there from Lukum, who, again, just Black Dragons are getting absolutely decimated. Would have been the real cherry on the cake there if Rio Zhao finished off Pancada and made it a clean round for VINCIT. Not the case, but even still, an absolutely commanding round 1
Honestly,
here on Subbase.
It really doesn't get much cleaner than that, Jordan. You're on the defense, and you've gone on the front foot early, and you've really just set everything up perfectly for the end of the round. VINCIT Gaming looking very scary, and Black Dragons are shaking in their boots. There's nothing they can do so far. They haven't shown us any sign of resilience. As we see, VINCIT Gaming this time, they've tried. They went for that double door peak. They couldn't get it. Now they're not going to sit around and give Goken an opportunity to find an entry. Black Dragon, on the other hand, they're looking a little lost, something that they haven't looked all tournament. They've just lost their first map for the whole thing in the grand final against their countrymen, VINCIT Gaming. They're definitely shaken. Let's just see how they're able to deal with this sort of pressure. Ryu in the lockers.
He's kind of on his own here. VINCIT does have some more players back toward the B side, but he'll actually be the first player to take the contact here and might well have to double down. Viana just flies around the corner straight into the crossfire. Mendez now takes the peek from the bomb site. That's really nice from VINCIT.
Mendez has already done all the work, Jordan, but Goken and Pancada will answer back to even things up. The new guys, the fresh blood for Black Dragons.
Yeah, Pancada able to get behind them and essentially catch them in the back, which does give a bit of a problem over to the VINCIT Gaming lads. But Mason and Douglas, both full HP. Pancada quite low. And workable clutch for both sides. But post-plant, plenty of time to get into good positions for Black Dragon.
They're so spread out here, the VINCIT Gaming duo. But Mazin has been the clutch master so far. Pancada very low HP. We're asking quite a lot here of Black Dragons to defend this bomb, but 15 seconds left. And there's not a sign of a VINCIT Gaming player until now.
Blink and you miss it, Ian.
Absolutely.
You just saw DGZ in the corner of the eye there of Pancada, and that was that.
A little bit too easy as they hit the 2-0 for VINCIT Gaming. On the defensive side, sub-base, look, I don't have Kyle here to reference, but I would say this favors the defense. It's such a difficult map to find inroads to these bomb sites, but once you are able to get in and have that post-plant position, that's where it kind of turns around on its head, particularly for that B site. So we'll keep an eye out for that, but Black Dragons have got to make it that far, and so far, the furthest they've gotten is into the A site, but it was after suffering a lot of casualties.
Yeah, you're right. It's been a real struggle to get the bomb plan even down for Black Dragons, which, to be fair, they did. But then the subsequent post-plant wasn't very clean at all. In fact,
post-plant was messy as. They had very poor post-plant positioning. They weren't organised. And again, that was Pancada and Goken, the new guys on the block.
Well, here's another attempt into the B bomb site from VINCIT. A good defense we're starting to see really ramp up here on sub-base. Mendez, though, has to reload. That leaves Ryozao out high and dry on his own, and Knotson,
wow,
they've lined up for him. You can't let that happen. Bomb plan will go down. This is the best chance now for Black Dragons to get a round on the board, but DGZ starts to find his rhythm here in map 2. Mason in the 1v1, and he's 4-0 right now, looking to make that 5-0 to start things off on sub-base and just drive another nail deep in the coffin of Black Dragon. Will he be able to do it? Easily done in the end for VINCIT.
Wow.
That's 3-0 now.
Wow, wow, wow. Jordan Viana, he's struggling. He's got the nervous tick happening. He's biting his nails.
Yeah.
He knows. That's his bread and butter. Mazin had a pistol, had to pick up the AK, only 10 bullets in a clip. Uh-oh, VINCIT Gaming going on the attack again.
Yeah, seems as though Black Dragons might be aware of it or expecting it. Regardless, Viana's all the way into the A site, but immediately shut down by Douglas, who gets another opportunity onto Goken. Can't quite connect, but a big rotation now from both sides. VINCIT have read this really well. They see the offensive into A and they start making their way in that direction. Now a struggle for mid on both sides. ADRF, but Mendez in a great position to double down. In fact, it'll be Lucum who gets 2. And once more.
What a sick crossfire from VINCIT Gaming. You thought ADRF was going to be the man. He gets the entry that Black Dragons needed so dearly.
This is not even looking close, Ian.
Nope. Nope, this is not the Black Dragons we're used to seeing. Goken, he does look shaken.
It's a foreboding-looking VINCIT, isn't it?
Yeah, these guys look strong. These guys look like the world champions at the moment.
And they're playing a nasty brand of Crossfire here as well. They're really just driving that boot into Black Dragons.
Yeah. They're going straight for the jugular, Jordan. They want 3-0. They want a decisive victory, and until now, they were getting it, Black Dragons.
What a response from Black Dragons. You try that one too many times, VINCIT, and finally Black Dragons have figured it out. Finally, they're ready. But they might still have something to deal with in the name of DGZ. He's 5-1. He's hitting fantastic shots right now with that Orm.
C4's not down yet, and it is coming towards A.
Don't rest on your laurels here. Pancada gives him another 1v1. Oh my God!
Well, like you said, these guys are low health. The pistol will be able to do it.
If he pulls this off, I think Black Dragons just lose the grand final there. That'll be that. Your confidence will just be absolutely shot. He spotted the head of Gokun as well, and you almost back him to hit that shot too. Not much time left here, though, for DGZ, so he's going to have to pull that Colt out and charge his way into the site. That'll be the end of him. And finally around on the board for Black Dragons, but not without its excitement for VINCIT. And that's the problem for me. You're still seeing signs of life for VINCIT, even when they really should just be dead.
Yeah, absolutely. And Black Dragons, they know there's no cause for celebration yet. Oh, Douglas just missing that shot there. Can he get another one with Viana? He's going to be coming up with the nameplate through the smoke. And with the lightning reactions that we've seen from these snipers, that's definitely a shot they can take. VINCIT Gaming with a commanding lead so far. Black Dragons finally finding inroads into this map. They're heavily split up at the moment with a 3-man stack towards the A site. They're just the usual 2-man stack there on B. And Black Dragons hanging around this double doors quite a lot. Gokun, again, he hasn't had a great opportunity to open up the map so far. You've got this firefight happening towards A, or B rather, as the lockers was easily held before by that Mendez Ryu crossfire. And now they're going to go for the sneaky vent play.
Yeah, what you really don't want to see here, though, for Black Dragons is them getting completely wiped in this round and all the momentum shifting straight back to VINCIT. One is not enough for Black Dragons. They need much more. Rio Zhao, though, will get it. 2 kills for him. Still, though, Black Dragons have actually got a pretty clean entry into that B bomb site.
Yep.
But Mason and DGZ have been the power players for VINCIT so far, and they are the 2 that are tasked with this clutch.
It's a very difficult bomb site to retake with a sniper, though, Jordan, so they might find a bit of trouble. Mazin is going to have to start off the fighting to hopefully draw some attention away from DGZ, but he comes in from behind.
A smoke is not a wall, and Gokun has figured that out. Not the way that he would have liked to have, but Mason, he will see his teammate fall. That leaves him with 2 to find. ADRF's been spotted on the bomb site, and Viana would be no lockers.
Way!
It's a 1v1 now. He has to get on the defuse, has to stick this one. Where is Viana? He's not going to get there in time. Yes, he is. Just gets there. Viana plays it to perfection. But that was a little too close for comfort.
ADRF jumping up on top. You really need to hit those shots, and that's a cause for concern if he's not able to hit those.
Yep.
And Gokun as well with his back towards a player. These are communication mistakes you don't often see from Black Dragons. Luckily, though, Viana, the master, the captain of the ship for Black Dragons, is going to restore equilibrium here.
Yeah, that's the kind of performance that you need to see to really boost the morale of Black Dragons.
It's not good for Gokun, though, Jordan. I've said this before. You know, he's the guy. He looks very momentum-based, very confidence-based. He just got shot in the back, left for dead by his teammate. Not a promising sign for him. But luckily, Viana was there to save the day.
DGZ continuing his reign of terror with that orb.
It literally is terror. Black Dragons are terrified of DGZ, and rightfully so.
I mean, some of the shots that he's been hitting have been pretty ludicrous, but if he can keep that going, it'll be boding very well for VINCIT. Bit more of a reserve play style this time, though, from VINCIT.
It was interesting to see the vent play work out for Black Dragons. Bit of a rare strategy to see them drop out of the vents and head towards the A site. Now it's up to VINCIT Gaming to just wait. They don't need to do much more, but they do need to work together to have these choke points crossfired, and you can see this is a perfect 3-way crossfire ready for Black Dragons.
In the meanwhile, though, Pancada may be getting behind them, but will it even matter?
What a
yes
joke.
Is the answer. Pancada's got 2. DGZ, though. He spotted Pancada. This should be a free kill for him. How much more can he find, though? There's so many players from Black Dragons swarming the side. Maybe was better off waiting for Mason.
That was very cowboy from DGZ. But Mazin, he's far away. It's going to be tough. Gokun again. Can he get caught out? He is the sniper. It's not ideal in that close range situation.
Low HP for Notson and ADRF, and that'll be the end of the ladder.
Uh-oh.
Notson.
Low HP, one shot is all it will take.
The Colt comes out. And it's just in time for Black Dragons. Again, a clutch by the closest of margins.
I feel like Vienna is yelling something of the effect of, come on, guys, we are better than this. Stop making these mistakes and let's take this match.
Starting to get the ball rolling at the very least, Black Dragons.
Well, it's close, but it's just too close. VINCIT Gaming even getting an eye in on that 1v3 should not be happening, and Vienna has every right to be upset.
You're right.
Gokun going down again, forced to control a part of the map with a sniper rifle that is purely close quarters combat. And Notson on very low HP. You've got to thank your lucky stars that he is able to deliver that.
At least Black Dragons are having some success on the B side of the map, so they can take heart in that.
They've got something, but are they able to make it work? Oh, how does he get away?
Doesn't quite. Almost did. But not quite able to sneak around the corner. DGZ going for a quick scope.
I'm noticing a trend here, Jordan. Neither of these two teams are faking anything. And that's allowing a very fast rotate to come out. And that's why these rounds are just finishing so fast.
Well, as you say that, though, the C4 is still sitting in mid with a couple of the Black Dragons players.
Well, you can see the instant rotate came out from VINCIT Gaming, but now they've had to go back for the first time ever. Black Dragons haven't committed on an entry, and that it may be attested to Pancada going down so quickly. Vienna still hoping to make one more entry just to draw that extra rotator. As you can see, VINCIT Gaming, they're actually going on the attack with their 3-man. This is going to catch Black Dragons off guard completely, but Gokun equalizes with the trade.
Vienna has spotted Mason, though, on the rotate. That's an important frag. Leaves the back safe for Black Dragons. They can focus on the front, pushing into the A side, but Mendez is saying, see you later. Or perhaps not. They're in the grave now. It's just Vienna again. Another clutch has to be asked of Black Dragons.
This guy has nerves of steel usually. He's ice cold, Jordan, straight out of the freezer. Can he do it? Can he bring a 4-4 for Black Dragons? No, he can't. Mendez too good.
Yeah, you can't even really start to get excited when you see a aim battle like that. It's always really going to go the way of VINCIT. So 5-3 on the defense. I think they're doing pretty well for themselves.
It's, to be honest, this is expected for VINCIT Gaming. Any more, though, is a bonus.
Might well see the same mirrored scoreline going into halftime. 6-3 was what we had on Ankara.
But still, the story still shows that VINCIT Gaming have been in the commanding position. And this time, despite starting on defense, they've made it work. And Black Dragons, well, they're looking like they need to play catch-up very fast. But time is running out for them as they will creep into the A site. Only one the player there, and it's Mazin.
He's not going to be able to do the damage this time, but rotation comes in from Mendez, and he has been a terror. Again, shut down, though, by Notson. Much better here from Black Dragons. That is a huge kill, though, from Ryo Zhao with the grenade. Denies the bomb plant. Rotations come in from VINCIT. And the health advantage is there for VINCIT.
And all of a sudden, they have a chance in this round where, really, rightfully, they didn't until that grenade from Ryu.
EGZ has an idea, perhaps, that Gokun is still sitting behind default.
This would be so sad if Black Dragons were going to give away this kill. Gokun cannot afford to die here, peeking. There's no need. He just needs to watch the staircase. Ryu will be the first out.
Yeah, good flash, though. Does allow Ryu out, and Gokun on his own for the moment. Oh, my word, that's clean. And VINCIT are going to go 6-3 up at the end of the half. Again, it starts to look good for Black Dragons, but then VINCIT just rips it away from them.
This could be a quick day in the office, Jordan.
Certainly could. Still, another half to play here on Subbase, and that means anything can happen. It's very much the same situation heading into the second half of Map 2 as it was heading into Map 1. You look to Black Dragons to start this half off well, otherwise they might well be done.
It'll be very hard for them to match the start that VINCIT Gaming had in the last half, going on the forward foot there and catching Black Dragons completely off guard. But as I say that, it starts off with a 4-on-4. The fake towards the A site causes a minor rotation from Black Dragons, but they soon stop in their tracks.
The utility thrown into mid there from VINCIT is going to draw some eyes away from the B site. DGZ continues to hang on to the Orm.
Yep.
VINCIT might well send themselves through this smoke. A contact play by the looks of things, but no one holding lockers for Black Dragons.
And they've got no idea.
As DGZ does catch Knotson, just Pancada left on the bomb site to find, but he's doing a good job of holding on. In fact, even better now that he's picked up a couple of kills, but in behind is Ryu Zhao, catching Pancada there as well. And once more, how many times do I say it? Viana tasked with the clutch. He's been spotted by Ryu Zhao as well, and another one goes the way of VINCIT. They know how big of a moment that is, and you can see the despair on the face of Viana. He can see the hopes and dreams of Black Dragons going back to back, slipping away.
You've got to see this in the context, Jordan. Viana is the devil for the Chinese. He's the man that's eliminated their crowd favorite time and time again, and they love to see him in pain right now.
In pain he is. The young upstarts, VINCIT Gaming.
Nice guy, though.
Definitely.
But on the battlefield, there is no love lost between these two teams.
No. You can really see that.
VINCIT Gaming, the crowd favorite by far.
Definitely, and they're going for the jugular right now as well. They're just not letting Black Dragons get anything.
It's a worrying sign to have your in-game leader, your captain, have that sort of attitude this early on. It's the second map. You're losing every single 1v1 clutch when that was something that was definitely in your wheelhouse. The rest of the team will be looking at him for direction, particularly players like Goken. And there you go, Viana, the first to fall, and none other to the captain of Mendez.
Yeah, but into the B site fairly quickly here goes VINCIT. Black Dragons losing players all over the place. They're just every angle is covered off right now, bar this one. Knotson gets behind DGZ. Maybe a sliver of hope, maybe a glimmer of hope here, as he's going to be able to get two, but Lukem just jumping over the bullets, and ADRF will fall as well. One more up on the board for VINCIT, and they continue to push forward to a map victory.
Oh no, Black Dragons, they're being silenced here. They're being absolutely shut out of this series, and it was a best of 5, but it's almost going to be over here. There's one more map after this should VINCIT Gaming win this and then go on to win the next.
Certainly is quite reminiscent of what happened last year. It was Black Dragons that were doing very much the same thing to RU Legends.
Well, that being said, the crowd definitely is getting a show, though. This has been some terrific crossfire from VINCIT Gaming. They're making it look easy, and it's beautiful to watch.
Certainly some of the best crossfire that we have seen. In fact, probably the best crossfire that we've seen.
This event? Would you go as far as saying that?
Better than last year, in my opinion.
Yeah. Last year was just a complete collapse from Super Valiant and RU Legends as well in the finals.
Indeed.
We expected better things from them, didn't we?
But you really get the idea for VINCIT that this is them really pushing Black Dragons.
The world champions from last year are on the brink of defeat in the second map.
Yep, Viana crouching behind the WQ boxes. Can he do what WQ has done many times before? Really has to get some backup from his teammates, though. You can see the counter flashes are keeping VINCIT at bay, and Viana doing well, but traded down straight away. Still a 1-for-1. Not too bad for Black Dragons, but they can't afford to be losing ADRF like that. Mendez is just hitting everything. Leo Zhao will creep through the vent as well, and for Pancada and Goken, he is going to be a very big pain point. Knotson hanging around as well. Crucial aim duel 1. If Knotson loses that, the round is over, but there's still a chance for Black Dragons.
If not the best chance for them so far.
They'll have to make their way down the stairs. Mendez is watching that. Headshots are not being connected, and that's really what he needs at the moment as he loses DGZ. It's a swarm onto the bomb site from Black Dragons, and they will get themselves around. They salvage things for the moment.
Yep, it's only going to allow them to get a quick breath before the next round, which they'll need to be flawless from here, Jordan. They can only afford to lose one more round to avoid overtime. And that's at a best case scenario. No. And, well, Goken going down at the start, that's not flawless. That's worst case scenario for Black Dragons.
Yeah, and Goken really having a shocker as well, isn't he? 0-3 for the half.
Absolutely. And
wasn't great in the first half either.
And I want to say it's all because DGZ is doing such a tremendous job But we've seen now this entire tournament, Gherkin's actually been up and down like a yo-yo, and it all depends on that start for him. And he's been shut out of this game from the first instance of the series. Black Dragons, they're going to need to pull something out. There's only the one player on the B side, which is perfect, but they do have the, they do have Notson pushed up very far on B for the fast flank.
Yeah, again, it looks like a repeat of the previous round if VINCIT do hit A.
The number advantage for VINCIT is just going to wreak havoc unless we get an individual performance coming out from Black Dragon. Somebody needs to step up.
Again, you turn your eyes toward Vienna. At least this time he has ADRF close. And VINCIT were not expecting that. Not at all.
No, Vienna gets 3, but ADRF falls without even a trade.
Even still, damage has been done to Mendez and DGZ. So again, a 2v2. Again, a winnable round for Black Dragons. And really, again, a must-win round for Black Dragons.
Every round is a must-win round, Jordan. Black Dragons can't afford a mistake.
They might catch Mendez here when DGZ's putting the bomb plant down, but 2 just go a little too late. Now through the smoke, Mendez catching 1, and wow, so clean. Taking the head off. That is map point.
Everything is clean for these guys. Mendez just giving that commanding roar to the rest of his team to say, we are so close. There's only one more map after this.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no. VINCIT Gaming have gone to try and surprise Black Dragons, but instead Black Dragons have sat stoically waiting for them and dealt with it very well.
I think both teams kind of had the same idea in that round. Let's go fast. And it has favored Black Dragons, of course. At the 11th hour, they'll be able to probably sneak another round.
Again, though, Jordan, it's just a battle of attrition at this point. VINCIT Gaming will continue to be like this and force the issue. And Black Dragons will have to continually deal with it before getting to an overtime. And the fact of the matter is, Jordan, Black Dragons rarely are able to deal with it. This could be just a once-off. VINCIT Gaming could do this every single round. Yeah. Eventually, it will work, and it will work sooner or later, particularly because Black Dragons, they're just not here yet.
I don't want to call this round over just yet, though. I mean, it's a 3v1, yes, but DGZ has the
should
C4.
be over. It's Black Dragons.
B side's completely open. If he goes and gets the bomb plant on B,
it's still a 1 versus 3. They should be able to deal with that. He has the sniper, unless he was... You know, he's still going to need to whip out the pistol eventually with the territory that the Black Dragons players will be able to make once his position is given away.
I mean, you always got to give him a chance, though. And that might be enough for DGZ. The shots he's been hitting today, it's been impeccable form.
If we saw Douglas win this round in a 1v3 situation of the grand final in the second map to get map point.
Not like that.
Yeah.
Definitely not like that. Just a little bit too late. However... Does it even matter? DGZ is going to take the fight to Black Dragons. Misses the shot on Pancata. You could really start to see that ramping up. God, that would have been bad for Black Dragons.
That would have, we talk about nail in the coffin, blah, blah, blah. That would have been it. The game would have been over. The third map would have been a formality. You got to remember, though, third map is compound. Neither of these two teams, I think, will be very comfortable on it.
They've not played it at all at this event either.
So it really could go any way. But then again, with the way VG is playing, just individual brilliance, working together as a team, Black Dragons not really stepping up at the moment. You would expect it to go in the way of VG right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about this map like as if it's already over, but this is where Black Dragons really get to prove their worth, show their grit. And that's what it's going to take to win this World Championship. As Paul would say, to prove they are the best Crossfire team on planet Earth.
Well, VINCIT is doing that at the moment. Black Dragons aren't really in with a look just yet. But maybe they can salvage this map. Maybe they can give us some hope. Notson flashed off the angle, but jumped straight into Ryu's out. That's nice. Still too many numbers, though, for VINCIT. And this is the map point that VINCIT are looking for. A 3v2. It's all on the platter for them. And a 2v3. Now a 1v3 for Gherkin, who hasn't even got a kill in this half. Gets tagged on up, and you can see the writing on the wall here. VINCIT Gaming will take 2-0, another 10-5 as Subbase goes their way.
A bad day for Black Dragons as Vincit Gaming fund them one map away from being world champions here at the CFS 2019 Grand Finals. As you said, Jordan, another 10-5. Black Dragons feeling, to me, like they haven't even turned up. You see Vienna, you see it on his face. It is not going well.
It's not going well. I mean, there's no other way that you can paint this this match. Like, I don't really know what to say about it. It just seems like Black Dragons are not turning up to this. This is not the Black Dragons that we've seen throughout this tournament. And Vincit must be in their head. They must have gotten into Black Dragon's head now.
It's incredible for me, Ian, because knowing not that long ago, Black Dragons 2-0 this same team in a qualifier to come to the CFS finals, and now it's a 2-0 the other way. If this was a semi, Black Dragons would already be out. Like, it is not going well at all.
Well, you've got to wonder now if the left side of the stage is cursed. I mean, Black Dragons are a shadow of their former selves.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing Vienna. I'm not seeing ADRF go multiple numbers on the entries. I'm not seeing anything. Gokun hasn't really turned up.
Man.
Vienna can't help.
Don't even.
No one can help them right now. They're in a pit of despair. They're going into compound now where you've got to say the snipers are super important. And Vincit Gaming are just coming out on top with anything that they do. They seem invincible at this point.
I didn't want to say it, but it feels like Gokun is broken. He's barely here. Is he underperforming, or is DGZ just that darn good?
I mean, DGZ is absolutely smashing everything that runs into his sightline, but I don't think it's necessarily fair to say that because DGZ is playing well, therefore Gokun must play poorly. I really think Gokun is just not stepping up at the moment.
Yeah, DGZ is the least of his problems.
Exactly.
It's everybody else in that team that's just able to take out Gokun without an issue. In that last round, he couldn't even hit a shot. He only needed
First one dead most rounds as well. Like
that's a terrible stat.
Yeah, it is not what you want to see. However, they still have a chance.
Obviously,
there are still
slim one.
potentially 3 maps. You can reset, right?
Well, this would be the best grand final. If Black Dragons come back to win this, if they clean sweep these remaining 3 maps, this would be the best grand final we've seen in Crossfire history.
We will love it.
Yes.
Black Dragons will love it.
Vincit won't.
Crowd, not so much. You could clearly see when they panned to the face of Vienna, struggling after that clutch, they laughed. They hate Black Dragons.
Because they love Super Valiant.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, that's literally the Super Valiant fan club right there.
It's unfortunate because Black Dragons literally broke the hearts of everyone here.
Yeah,
yesterday.
I mean, we have an all-Brazilian grand final, and as far as the crowd's concerned, that's because of Black Dragons, not Vincit Gaming.
I literally look past your head right there, Ian, and I see an SV sign.
Yeah.
It's like, they're not even playing in the grand final, guys, but you're still bringing the signs.
Yeah.
So that kind of goes to show what you're talking
they're
about.
here to avenge Super Valiant because they can't do it themselves, right? So they're here to say, we're going to put the mocker on you because you've beaten our team. We want you to lose. And look, so far they are. Vincit Gaming are just dominating them. Black Dragons don't have an answer. I'm very concerned. This next map, I mean, look, you do say, oh, they're not out of it yet, but the way the momentum works in Crossfire, they do have a 15-minute break, mind you, to reset things.
So you can reset. That's the point, right? We've got a little bit of
bloody
downtime
hope
between
so.
this and the next one. Mendez coming through as the player.
Yeah,
of the
that's
match
fair enough too. I mean,
Yeah.
literally every shot he made had the crowd in awe. So, yeah, he was definitely the player of the match for me. And as the captain, he's looking like a better Vienna right now, isn't he?
He is, and we've been talking about Vienna all tournament long and how he was one of the best in-game leaders here. Clearly, he is, but in this particular matchup, Mendez coming through with the goods. Look, it's still possible. Coming into this, we thought maybe we would see, if the momentum came in Black Dragon's favour, potential for a 3-0 or a 3-1 coming out from them, wanting to be the back-to-back champions. We head now to Compound, a map that probably neither team really wanted to play. And if Black Dragons can get the momentum here, maybe, just maybe, that'll be enough to get them going once again.
It's a bit of a weird one as well, isn't it? You know, Compound is not a map that either of the teams have played at all in this tournament, so we don't really know what we're going to get out of it.
Black Dragons left it in on a veto, so you'd have to say that they're ready.
Hopefully. You better hope they are, otherwise they're done.
Look, if they're not ready now, they won't be ready for the rest of the year because Black Dragons are 1 map away from a loss. Vincit Gaming 1 map away from going home champions here at the CFS 2019 Grand Finals, and we will be back on Compound right after this break. entered the stage here in Shanghai at the CFS 2019 Grand Final. The Battle of Brazil. Black Dragons, your 2018 champions, looking to make it back-to-back. But VINCIT Gaming, the number 2 seeded team from Brazil, seemingly all over them today. 2-0 up. We head to compound. Black Dragons need to bring it all out now, Jordan, or they are out of this competition.
Yeah, it's not so much about looking for a back-to-back championship for Black Dragons anymore, is it? It's really just about staying in this championship. And I mean, look, maybe Compound is the map that they can do that on. It's a bit more of a curveball. There are a few more question marks around this map, particularly for both of these two teams who we haven't seen play it at this event. But even still, I mean, as a roster, in almost every aspect, VINCIT is looking like the better team, and it just doesn't seem like anything's getting going today for Black Dragons.
It feels like, to me, Black Dragons that we're seeing on stage is not the same Black Dragons that we've seen across the competition. But I want to know, do we think that is because VINCIT is just that much better right now, or are Black Dragons underperforming?
I mean, on paper, sadly, it really does look like Black Dragons just aren't performing. This is not their usual selves. We've seen them get multiple kills against every other team in this tournament. We've seen the clutches. Not seeing any of that today. They really have not turned up. I think they're scratching their head. They don't know what's going on, but simply put, you've just got 5 guys who are all on the same page and they're all struggling on the same day, and it couldn't be a worse day to do it.
Well, we talk time and time again about who is the player who is going to step up. I still feel like Vienna is stepping up, but you can only carry so much, Jordan.
Yeah, you definitely need to be seeing a lot more from the rest of the squad. I mean, we've talked enough about Gokun, I think, but even for the likes of Pankara, who's probably been, prior to this, the best individual in this matchup, he's also not really having the greatest of games. ADRF and Notson, I mean, here and there, you know, we're seeing a couple of double kills, I think, out from Notson, but by and large, they're just not having those big, insane performances that you've come to expect from the Brazilian rosters.
Well, the other thing I want to point out is that literally VINCIT Gaming are having a lights-out day. Mendez is hitting everything. Mazin hasn't had to clutch a single thing. DGZ is just opening up everywhere. It's just perfect for them. They're just having a field day, and it's going to be up to Black Dragons to really put a stop to that, and they just aren't at the moment.
Well, they're going to make it now or never. Black Dragons 1 game away from losing. VINCIT Gaming 1 map away from being crowned world champions and winning $500,000. We head to compound.
It's a big moment for VINCIT Gaming, and I'm sure they're going to savor this map. For Black Dragons, they'll look to play spoiler. Again, aggression early on in the map. This time, First Blood drawn by VINCIT. DGZ gets 1, Mendez another. And it really does seem like we have continued where we left off on sub-base. Black Dragons just not being able to land those shots.
It's an absolute slaughterhouse here for Black Dragons. They're just walking straight into the attack of VINCIT Gaming, and that aggressive play by Notson and Vienna, 2 of the stars, 2 of the veterans for Black Dragons, just not paying dividends, and that's going to put them on the back foot early, and that's not something that they need. They've really had poor starts to every single one of their maps.
And look at this map control for Black Dragons. They just waltzed in through mid, straight into the B side. That's a nice shot from ADRF.
You know it's good if the crowd likes it and it's Black Dragons.
Yeah, but he's got no idea that they're in the B bomb side. He tries to retreat back to his bomb side, and VINCIT's like, hey, what's up?
It's all about looking cool here if you're Black Dragons now. And unfortunately, it's VG who are the ones that are looking cool.
Pankara cleaned up by DGZ.
Okay, Gokun, here we go.
Oh my, I don't know if that's what you meant.
Wow, that's some lights out play there. VINCIT Gaming just coming straight back and saying, yeah, look, that 15-minute break was actually really good for us.
Yeah.
How about you? So Black Dragons are going to try and go for that aggressive B push again. Hopefully execute it a little better than last time.
Well, Vienna starts off a little better than the last for Black Dragons, but VINCIT very quickly are responding. They're just looking to find Notson, and that'll open the bomb site up completely, but he is still making a name for himself. Holding onto the warehouse, escaped back into B. A nicer response from Black Dragons. At least there is some fight left in them.
Yeah, very well done by Knotson. Very cool under the pressure there to get a kill and fall back. VINCIT Gaming know that the numbers will be in their favour towards this bomb site. No rotate coming out from Black Dragons at this point, though. Better off for them to stick together. Knotson! Great work there, individual effort. That's what I was talking about, Jordan. That's what they need to get back into this.
But you can still even see on the faces of Black Dragons what a reserved kind of mentality they have.
They can't see the light yet, and you wouldn't expect them to. They're still very far down the dark, dark tunnel.
Yep. Normally they're all cheers, though that has been very quickly ripped away from them. And again, VINCIT just proved how strong of a roster they are as they walk their way into mid, pick up 2 kills, and once again have that map control. And they're just not slowing down, are they? Mendez now with another one. And VINCIT just completely controlling this match.
Yeah, I really like how Mendez knew that because they had a 2-player advantage, that really frees him up to go and be a bit of a splinter cell on his own.
One advantage, Knotson is behind, and ADRF getting work done in middle. Now, if Knotson does catch Mendez off here, 2v2 winnable scenario for Black Dragons. He's completely whipped the spray, and Mendez will totally punish him for that. That could not be a worse situation now for Black Dragons.
The writing is on the wall here, Jordan,
it is.
And that's just typical of how this day has gone for BD. As VG just holding off all of the aggression, yet Black Dragons will continue with more. Again, pushing towards B, but only with 2, but this time they won't find any VINCIT Gaming players.
3 in mid from Black Dragons as well.
Yeah, that complete left passage is open, and they'll need to rotate. Should VINCIT just... They've picked it. They've picked a winner. This is a free ride. They've got free entry into this A site here.
I mean, ADRF is still watching, but he's actually got a grenade in his hand. I don't think that'll do too much to stop VINCIT.
Is there some rock, paper, scissors stuff we're seeing here, Jordan? You know, they've done this, they've done that. It's only a matter of time before they do this, and VINCIT Gaming have just read it like a book. Black Dragons do seemingly seem set up for the retake. I'll be interested to see what Mendez can do on his own here.
Oh, who's it going to be on the entry? Well, I didn't expect it to be Mendez, quite frankly, in mid, doing damage, but over to the A bomb site is what really matters. As VINCIT walk their way in there and get the bomb plant very early on in the piece. Black Dragons still on the rotate, still a lot of time being cost by having to clear all the angles out. And Mason find the side of Knots, and a favorable Angel goes his way, which leaves 2 for Black Dragons now. Goken and Pancada, and Goken still yet to get on the board in this map. He's going to have to step up for Black Dragons. But it obviously isn't going to happen in this round. 0-3 now, though, and the nightmare continues for Black Dragons.
Black Dragons really need to just forget that this is the CFS Grand Final, forget that they're 2 maps down, and go back to Brazil. Think about how they played in that qualifier when they were able to dispatch of VINCIT Gaming very easily in a 2-0 fashion when there was no pressure. They need to just go back to that mindset. And aggression towards the B side again, ADRF. No stranger to opening up a round with 2, but that has been a sorry sight for them today.
I wouldn't get too excited just yet, although with Viana finding that frag, it really does make things a little bit more stable. I was waiting to see what would happen with Ryu Zhao, who's also well covered off by Goken, and nice to see Goken get a frag. It means now, you know, maybe a little bit of confidence, maybe it's a settler for him.
No idea how many he's had today, though. Probably slim pickings.
I'd say under 10 would be my guess. Nonetheless, a round on the board for Black Dragons. Remember, though, this map has traditionally been defensively sided in this competition.
Yeah, that hurts. Oh, Black Dragons again. If at first you don't succeed. Oh, the big team flash there. Lucky not to get penalized.
Well, VINCIT not too interested in the warehouse this time. More control, more presence towards middle.
Yeah, they were holding off for any sort of aggression there. As we have seen even Imperial, when they played this map, another Brazilian side, they were very aggressive towards middle quite often. So it is something you need to be aware of and spend the first couple of 30 seconds maybe of the round just making sure that that's not happening. Now, I think this is some good positioning for Black Dragons. They can't allow to get picked off here, as we've seen when we've casted Compound before.
Not a bad start for VINCIT here. 2 for 1 on the entry, and Goken He's good for one, but Mason is just absolutely
How does
demolishing.
Mazin get that shot?
DGZ, you almost back him to hit that as well. It does allow Notson out, but DGZ able to back away into the waiting arms of his teammates and keeps himself a little more comfortable.
Yeah,
Notson tasked with what realistically is an impossible task, 3v1 against a informed VINCIT Gaming roster. Slow things down, but that is not the way to play. Has to speed it up. Doesn't have time to play with, but incidentally also doesn't have much of a life to play with either, as the round does go cleanly the way of VINCIT again.
You say it's not an easy round, but you know, if you're a world champion, you've got to be able to win a 1v3 every now and then. And that's something that Black Dragons players had no problem doing until today. So that I think they're really suffering a bit of shell shock after that first map.
Well, you would be.
And it's just they're unfortunate that they've let it carry on through the series. And I mean, you can see how that happens in Crossfire with Super Valiant going down yesterday to Black Dragons and then also falling to all gamers. The spirit just wasn't there for them.
Yeah, and if it wasn't the first map that brought that shell shock on for Black Dragons, then certainly the second would have.
Yep.
2 10-5s. Maybe on the way for another 10-5 favouring VINCIT. So far, so good. Getting rounds on the attacking side as well is a premium here on Compound.
The side alley is not even being really exposed by VINCIT Gaming, as they will opt to come back towards middle, where Mendez was able to find a good entry earlier on in the half.
Viana, weight on the shoulders here, but Mason is going to cleanly take that off. Outside the head of
Fast
Viana.
flank by ADRF.
Just not fast enough. The timing might well be favouring VINCIT here. However, ADRF, not a great spray. Only able to get one from a position like that, and you really need to be getting more. But Gokun, maybe he can step up. Maybe he won't. Mendez shutting them down again, and it just does not seem like this guy is going to miss.
At this point, I'm starting to worry. I feel bad for the crowd. They've come here for a best-of-5 series, but really there's only been one team on stage today.
Yep.
And that is VINCIT Gaming.
Certainly proving that they are the best team in the world right now, VINCIT. 5 rounds away from that World Championship.
Well, you've got to look on the bright side, Jordan. That's another world title to another Brazilian team.
Indeed.
Maybe CFS 2020 in Rio.
Have to start asking that question, don't you? They are the best region, without a doubt. DGZ spotting the line, knows that there are a couple of defenders here. The counter flashes do come out, but it just will not matter. Mendez again on the entry and backed up well. This is just such a clean squad that VINCIT have been able to put together. They work in unison beautifully. There just doesn't seem to be an answer that Black Dragons are able to present for us.
Everything they do everything they touch turns to gold, Jordan. And they're going to be...
Is it turning to gold or is it turning to $500,000 in?
They're going to be swimming in gold after this match, I think. Viana just holding that B-side on his own.
Pancada, can he step up again?
That's great.
Only one for now, but still survives with his life, and that means a gun in the game. That means potentially an ability to turn things back around in the favor of Black Dragons. Does back away and waits for Viana. A smart play, but Viana will have to deal with DGZ in mid before he can rotate comfortably.
I don't know why DGZ is looking everywhere else. That's Viana and Pancada identified, so bit of a miscommunication for VG.
Either way, a 4v2, it shouldn't matter all that much. Mason, however, gets caught off, but it is at the cost of a 1-for-1. And Viana really only has about 10 seconds to play with here. 15 on the defuse. DGZ just eliminates him. That's too easy for VINCIT.
Yep.
And they're not getting overly excited. You can see they're not getting over-eager. They're not letting the occasion get to them.
That they can't afford to now, because we've seen these Brazilian teams fail to close out games in the past. They have Black Dragons absolutely on the ropes right now.
Dead to rights.
Viana standing up with the Orm to take over for a struggling Gokun. Will get the pick in middle. That is very important in the context of this match. And I like it. I like it from VINCIT Gaming just to stay composed now, because like I've been saying all week, the last round is the hardest. The desperation when you have your back to the wall really does make a difference, but Black Dragons have had their back to the wall this whole game and they haven't been able to do anything with it.
Just much too clean of an entry there from VINCIT. Pancada with a wide swing. Caught in no man's land.
Vienna so close to the enemy. Oh, the timing is so bad for him there.
I think he's binked Rios out. It's a nice shot, but not enough to kill him. Maybe a stroke of luck for Vincit there, keeping it out of 4v4.
I'm not sure about the double sniper on the defensive side with a man down, Jordan.
Not against Vincit, that's for sure. A team that is prone to just overwhelming you with power of numbers, with a Wolfpack strategy, and you can see that being put into effect here.
What is this by Knotson?
He just tries to push through the smoke, doesn't get the timing right at all, and again, Mendez can't put a foot wrong. He's 11-4 in this half.
That's not something you do, Jordan.
And Lukem absolutely rolls over Goken. ADRF won't be able to pose too much of a resistance either, and so quickly the round just shifts way back into the favor of Vincit. Black Dragon, a 4v4, you think, okay, they might be able to pose some kind of a defense here. But immediately, Vincit's just like, no, we'll just roll over this.
It's not even that, really. It's Black Dragons. They're desperate. They will do anything they can to get on the board, but sometimes when you think you're being smart, you're actually being a little bit silly.
Yeah,
you really got to step out of their mind. I mean, look, this is when I normally would say, like, take a break, take a technical break or tactical break, kick a computer over, do something. You need to think and stop, and don't act in desperation because it's very easy to read.
Well, there's your brief moment of respite for Black Dragons. That is what you could consider about the best tactical pause that they're going to get. Whatever's said in that halftime break better be damn good, because they have a huge mountain to climb to get back into this series.
There are going to be tears after this game, Jordan, if Black Dragons are not able to bring this back, and they're going to be on the tougher side of the attack.
Well, again, it's just another nail in the coffin for Black Dragons. Another round started off with Vincit finding the opening frag, and more importantly, finding the kill onto Viana, who has been instrumental for Black Dragons at this event and in the past in their victories. Won't pose a threat in this round, that's for sure. Knotson will take a bit of a peek through the door, but not aware that Lukem is playing close. A nice exchange, a nice moment of play here for Black Dragons, but can they capitalize and make the advantage into an actual round? Quick rotation across from Vincit does keep 3 on the B site. Black Dragons do not want to commit to this.
Like you said, Jordan, Black Dragons actually with the upper hand for once. Although they are not yet into the site. 4 on 2, taking their time, but that's okay.
You can't count your chickens before they hatch.
Exactly.
Knotson will spot out the remaining defenders for the moment. So the information is definitely there for Black Dragons.
You know what they say, Jordan? Fools rush in.
Mason does just get caught around the corner. That's nice from ADRF and gives you a moment of respite, maybe.
The bomb will go down, and Ryu, well, let's just see what he can do. I think this is a very winnable 1v3. Mentally, you have Black Dragons on the ropes, but instead Knotson will stand up. Quite an easy kill depending on that angle. And finally, another round goes towards Black Dragons. It's been a while.
A long time coming. But one round does not a world champion make.
No. There's still a very big battle for Black Dragons to get back into this map. And this is their last chance to stay in this grand final series of 2019. They have looked invincible until today. Instead, it's VINCIT Gaming who have had the superpower. Everything they've done has just worked out so well, so calculated, and individual brilliance across the board. Like we talked about, what you need to win a grand final. They're very much turned up today.
Black Dragons are looking so scared on this attack right now. Not prepared to push any angles, not prepared to take those peaks for the moment.
Yeah, this must be so harrowing for Black Dragons. They can't afford to make a single mistake, yet somehow they've got to try and find adverse all risk and find an entry into a bomb site.
Against an outfit that is just hitting everything as well. Mason on this B bomb site has been an absolute terror at CFS 2019. ADRF, maybe his gun was just spotted there. Information starting to come in for Vincit as Lucum begins the proceedings with a kill for his squad. Ryu Zhao will follow up. Black Dragons, again, they're just not able to push into either of these bomb sites, not prepared to take these aim battles, and why would you be? Nothing seems to stick. They're throwing everything at the wall, and Vincit is coming up with the perfect answers every time. Gokun now falls. And this round has just really disappeared. It's fallen apart for Black Dragons. There was nothing in that for them.
They literally just wilted away, didn't they, Jordan? And with every kill, VINCIT Gaming put holes in the boat of Black Dragon. And it's going to take a hell of a lot to bail out of this.
Big play from Black Dragon this time. Same from Vincit. They'll go head-to-head, and once again, it goes the way of Vincit. You could not write the script better for VINCIT Gaming right now, as they are about to put themselves on match point. ADRF and Pancada are the only two players that stand between them. And you have to think there is no world in which these two are going to clutch this round.
This game is going in such a commanding fashion towards VINCIT Gaming. It's VINCIT Gaming, VINCIT Gaming, VINCIT Gaming all day. Black Dragons aren't able to retaliate quick enough, and there will only be two players left to salvage off match point. VINCIT Gaming, they secure this one. They just need one more.
Certainly are staring down the barrel of another 3-0 here at Crossfire Stars. Such was the case in 2018, and a joyous moment it was for Brazil. We'll have that again at least. But Black Dragons will be tossing and turning all night, thinking about the potential back-to-back.
They're not going to be even going to bed, Jordan. They're not going to sleep. They're not even going to lay down.
Well, ADRF and Pancada are keeping them in with a chance in this round. Ryu Zhao, the last sole defender on the A site, and he has been caught as well. All of a sudden, a 2 versus 5 turns into a 2v2. ADRF stepping up something monstrous. He's 5-1 now in the half.
He has been the light for Black Dragons.
Can he save this for Black Dragons? This is a must-win round for them, but he's fallen. It's all on Pancada now. The man of the moment immediately gets shut down, and that's even worse for Black Dragons, isn't it? You feel your heart start to build up. You feel that hope, and all of a sudden it's ripped away. And now it's match point, ladies and gentlemen, for VINCIT Gaming.
As much as the crowd wants VINCIT Gaming to win, they don't want the show to be over yet. This has been so quick, so dominant. The crowd sighing as VINCIT Gaming get one round closer to victory.
It doesn't seem as though anything is going to be able to stop this freight train.
This is match series point. This is it. VINCIT Gaming are on the red carpet to the first place prize here in Shanghai.
Well, if Black Dragons have anything left in the tank, now is the time to pull it out. And to be quite frank, it probably was time to pull it out going into this map. But they really have to dig deep and look for something special here. Otherwise, it's all over, and VINCIT will be crowned the champions. Another slower round out for Black Dragons, but they'll start to look for some entries through middle. Seems it'll be a B split. You see the rotation starting to come across here from Mendez, who is collapsed upon by Black Dragons. Maybe there is still some fight in them, as Pancada will find two. Lucum stuck in an aim battle with Notson, but can't finish him off. Finally pulling out the Colt, and does get the job done, but regardless, the bomb plant goes down for Black Dragons. It's a 3 versus 4, another round that is potentially winnable for Black Dragons. And a lot of counter utility being utilized here by Black Dragons to just try and keep Vincit at bay for as long as possible, but they will not be denied.
Oh, no.
Vincit Gaming will not be denied. Brazil goes back to back, but Black Dragons does not. Vincit Gaming are your world champions for Crossfire Stars 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, the champions of CFS 2019 and the new Crossfire World Champions, VINCIT Gaming!